Hello, everybody, and welcome to Blue Jays Today. We always have something to say about the Toronto Blue Jays. I'm your host, Nicholas Playlock.
And I'm your host, Adam Peddle. And guys, we've got some updates for you on Bichette, Danny Jansen, guys. And we got to talk about the actual game itself that we had in this past couple weeks. And as well, guys, we have to look at the AL wildcard standings. Where are the Blue Jays? What do we got to do to get in? What's the schedule looking like ahead? And all that and more. Let's get into it, guys. Without further ado.
Let's first talk about the elephant in the room. The freaking lineup without our elites in it. And specifically, Mr. Bichette, dude. We need to get Bichette back immediately, guys. The good news is he will be returning relatively soon. We got a tweet coming out from, I think it was Ben Nicholson-Smith, saying that next Friday, which will be this Friday, Bichette will be eligible to return. And from my understanding of things, when he initially left, the talk was 10 days are up, you're coming back.
And that's exactly what it is going to be on this Friday. That 10-day IL will be up. And he looked good. He was running around in Coors Field. He was with the team on this road trip.
Yeah.
So everything looks fine because we need it, bro. Because, man, I don't even have it up here. But the lineup today, it just got announced. You got Springer. You got Bichette in the 2-hole.
Yeah.
You know, you have no Brandon Belt. He's dealing with lower back tightness. Then you got Vladdy, who we're going to talk about a little bit later. And then Horwitz. Yeah, I love the guy. I mean, I literally broke him down in a video. Love what he's got to offer. But I don't really love having Horwitz in the 4-hole, depending on him to drive and runs. No Schneider today either, so Bichette's going to need to return the Jays fast.
Well, let me ask you folks in the chat right now, all the viewers, you guys let us know in the comments, if I would have told you what the Toronto Blue Jays team looks like right now, and just to go through our starting infield yesterday, we had Heineman at catcher, we had, who was the first baseman?
We had Horwitz.
It was Horwitz at first base, you had Clement in there at third, you had, who the hell else did we have? Like, it was a bunch
Schneider
of,
too.
It was Schneider was in there as well, right? So if I would have told you that was the Toronto Blue Jays infield at the beginning of the season,
what happened?
What are your thoughts? Right?
I'd be like, okay, we obviously sold at the deadline.
We're
not competing anymore.
A cataclysmic disaster. Like just all of the crap hit the fan right now. We've fallen apart.
Yeah, regardless, so I see people saying the replacements have been outstanding, and they have been. We're not shitting on them. They've been very good, actually. Yeah. Clement, Schneider, obviously, like, we don't have to really talk about that too much. He's been amazing. Horwitz hit a home run the other day. He's been amazing. So, yeah, they've been playing well, but again, I want to have Bichette, Brandon Belt back in the lineup, and, it's good news that we are going to have Bichette coming back.
100%, dude. I mean, at the end of the day, like, you need to have some type of players that have played in the major leagues before, for several seasons now on your ball team. Like, as much as I'm very happy with what the replacements have done, do I feel comfortable every single day trotting out a AAA infield? Not really. It'd be nice to have some guys in there that have played with the team for longer than a few weeks. So hopefully Bichette will be coming back very soon. Moving on to another freaking injury update here. You got Danny Jansen. He hit the IL. I talked about this in a recent video. This one just sucks, man. He fractured finger. Yeah. That's it. That's gonna be the season, eh?
Yeah, it's pretty much it, man. Fractured finger takes at least 4 weeks to get back, and you gotta get up to game speed again. And it's just such a freak incident too. Takes a foul ball when he's behind the plate. This guy's been getting beat up all season, right? And that's kind of what just happens when you're a catcher. You get beat up. It's just unfortunate because Danny was actually starting to be one of those guys where I was feeling pretty comfortable in the late innings. You see the numbers. His numbers get a lot better in the late innings. Hits for a higher average, more power. And he was starting to become a reliable guy in the middle of the lineup, not just in the bottom part either. So that's unfortunate. The good news is, Kirk, he's been having a great week. He's been starting to turn it on a little bit because we're going to need that moving forward.
Well, I'll tell you right now, folks, if we're getting all of these, AAA replacements coming in, we're dealing with all these injuries, we really need to have the guys that performed well last year turn it on. And we're talking about Alejandro Kirk, and we're talking about George Springer, and we're talking about Vladimir Guerrero Jr., right? If those guys were playing the way that they played in 2021, in 2022. I mean, those are all all-star players right there.
Absolutely,
right?
Man.
We need to have that production back from our veterans.
We need it, bro. And again, we are going to talk about Vladdy in just a little bit, guys, because I already see some people in the comments saying thoughts on Vlad's lack of hustle. I mean, Guy thought he got another one. He pimped it out of the box. He didn't really hustle. That's not really how you want to play. Obviously, I think it's bad. You gotta hustle. Always.
I hate that, man. It's actually, in my opinion, there's nothing more embarrassing to me. You know, like if I did that, I would be going back to the dugout thinking, "Wow, I am so embarrassed right now.
Yeah.
Like I just pimped something that wasn't anything, and it's like it could have been so much more, right? It sucks to see happen from your veteran player who is supposed to be leading these guys, right? And there has been some interesting statistics to come that have been revealed very recently. Switch over to this right now.
Let's talk about it.
Guerrero, I love this title right here. Toronto Blue Jays slugger moves to the top of dubious all-time leaderboard. What a fucking title!
I know, man.
Right? And what they're referring to is the fact that he has now the most double plays grounded into before his 25th birthday.
Wow.
Definitely not the type of statistic that you want to see. Now, granted, this is not a death sentence. You got Hank Aaron up there. You got Miguel Cabrera up there. Some pretty damn good baseball players, right? So this is definitely not a death sentence to your career. But it just goes to show, man, like, this guy has been killing worms all season long. And it's not good.
And it comes down to the mental approach, right? Like, I mean, what do you do? When the pitcher's in trouble, he's going to try to not pitch you. He respects you, laddie.
Yeah.
All these pitchers respect you. That's why they're throwing sliders down in the way. But you don't respect yourself, bro. You got to be able to lay off those, because what he's doing is he's rolling over on the sliders. He's trying to pull these sliders away, trying to hit home runs. And that's what's causing all these double plays. And granted, the guy does have 80 RBIs,
yes,
right? And he's in a lot of these situations to drive and runs because he's been in the middle of the lineup, so you got that to factor in. But you're right, you would like to see a lot better approach, just so that you aren't on this dubious all-time leaderboard.
100%, man. And a statistic that just stuck the hell out to me, folks. We know that David Schneider has been absolutely incredible. But take a look at these wars right now. David Schneider has played in, 17 games? 17 games right now. He's got a WAR of 1.7. And again, people get on WAR for being kind of a ridiculous statistic. I do agree with that. Like, the algorithm just spits this number out and says that this is what it is. But when you look over at Guerrero, who's played in effectively every single game, a 1.1 WAR on Guerrero. David Schneider has more than Vladimir Guerrero Jr. does in a fraction of the time, right?
Yeah.
Like, that says something.
You can look at it two ways, right? You could be like, wow, David Schneider is actually him. He's quite the player, right? But then you could look at it, obviously, the way that we're referring to it right now, where Vladdy, like, what are you doing, man? I mean, the defense hasn't been good this year. He's first in the first percentile, which is actually the worst, for those who don't know baseball savant stats, in outs above average. And then, obviously, the bat's been a little bit above average, 780 OPS plus of 115, but this isn't what you come to expect. And I do hate that we have to continue to have this conversation about Vladdy, like, because we needed Vladdy to be the MVP All-Star kind of player that you can ground your team around, right? Surround and build around, but he isn't right now. Now, do I think that he's going to be like this forever? I do think he's going to turn it around at some point. He can't be like this. The talent is too amazing. We've broke down videos, talked about it endlessly, how, like, he just needs to figure out a couple little mechanics here and there, figure out the stuff between his head, because it's a mental thing, right? Trying to pull balls, trying to pimp balls, you're grounding on double plays, you're trying to pull sliders, and that's why you're grounding into dirt. He's got to change a few things upstairs to become the player he's always meant to be. Sucks to suck, but this just ain't the season. I think we can just chalk it up like that, man.
I do tend to agree with you there. But he does need to get going, right? And either, just to play devil's advocate here, we do have one favorable statistic for Guerrero. Yes, he's been grounded into a lot of double plays, but he also leads the team in average in high leverage situations this season, right? So when the pressure is there, when the lights are bright, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. does typically come up clutch. So that is something that you want to see. Also, just shout out to Kevin Kiermaier right there, and even Santiago Espinal for coming in. Santiago Espinal had a phenomenal week this past week, man. Like, just credit where credit is due. I know a lot of people have been on the hating Santiago Espinal train, and I was even finding myself jumping on that one as well. But if he can turn it around, that would be freaking phenomenal, because, everybody, the Toronto Blue Jays have a kick-ass opportunity this week, guys. This is the week where Toronto Blue Jays find themselves back into a wild card spot, man. I want to be on Thursday night looking at the standings and seeing Blue Jays, right in that third wild card.
As I'm watching Thursday night football for the first time watching my fantasy team.
Hell yeah.
But you're right, because right here, Yahoo Sports points it out. Obviously, Jays are going up against the Athletics, the Kansas City Royals, two of the worst teams in baseball again. And then you've got the Astros and the Rangers. They're squaring off in a 3-game series. So, they're not going to get us, if one team's going to sweep, one team's going to really, not benefit. So I really hope that one team sweeps the other.
I was going to ask you, what is your prime outcome here?
Probably, again, I'm a firm believer that it's Houston that's got to fall, or not Houston, excuse me, Texas that's got to fall off. I want Houston to sweep Texas. Houston's going to be good. Texas got the harder schedule in general coming up, so I want them to likely go down low. Obviously, the prime outcome is that we sweep the Athletics.
Yeah.
We can move up there. And if that happens, guys, if there's a 3-game swing, we're in a playoff game, a game and a half in there.
Yeah,
right?
I tend to agree with you on that one because the Toronto Blue Jays, we play Texas later in the season, 100%. Right? So we control that own destiny. We don't play Houston. We don't play Seattle. We don't play any of those other squads. So when it comes down to what you can control, I would prefer to have Houston just whoop Texas right now. Granted, Houston, they are on a 3-game losing streak in their own right.
Yeah.
So maybe they're dealing with something right now. Most important thing is Toronto, you're playing Oakland. You're playing Kansas City. This needs to be a 5-win week, in my opinion.
It's
got to be.
Another one.
That's what we were saying last week.
Yes.
And we did the minimum
We did the minimum.
We went
did the
4-2. We did
the job.
We did the job. But that is honestly the minimum, guys, against this level of competition. I want 5 W's this coming week.
If we actually picked up another W, now we're half a game. It makes a huge difference, man. And we got this is the another easy part of the schedule. It's the last week. We're gonna break it down a little bit later, guys. What's the crown J of the week? But it's a must win.
Okay, let's take a look back at this 4-2 week that we just had right here and evaluate who did well, who didn't, what do we got going on.
Honestly, guys, again, we weren't crapping on the new guys coming up, right? We're actually kind of giving them some praise. They actually kicked a lot of ass this week. You had Ernie Clement with an OPS over 1, Espinal with an OPS over 1, Vladdy, he kind of shot the bed. Kirk showed up. You had Merrifield show up. You had David Schneider show up. Springer putting a good average. Kiermaier putting in good work. You had guys actually doing well this week. And granted, a lot of these numbers are a bit skewed because of Rockies Stadium. And then you had a great, a decent week from the pitching. They also got beat up a little bit in Rockies. But, you still had a great start from Hyun-Jin Ryu. Bona Francis showed up and pitched well for 3 innings. I remember that one game he did well. The one thing to note, though, Chad Green, in his return back, I hated how I was talking him up, being like, oh, he's going to be a great part of this bullpen.
Yeah.
And he did get beat the hell up. People were starting to not trust him. When he came in for the 9th inning there, and it was tied 5-5, people were worried. I'm like, guys, it's Chad Green. He's making his return back to the big leagues after Tommy John. That one outing where he gets the 4 runs, don't let that be the determining factor of how you see him anymore. Chad Green. There's a reason why he's on this team. And Jimmy, though, Jimmy's been getting beat up, bro. Jimmy feels like it's a hit or miss for him, bro.
It really is like a roll the dice with Jimmy Garcia every time you put him out there. You know what I mean?
Really
I like him. I think that he does have some incredible stuff. And what he was capable of doing in this offseason to work himself up to being able to consistently throw 98, 99. I mean, very clearly, he put in work this offseason. You're seeing that. But he also has those outings where we're just missing. And when you get a hold of that pitch, it is going to freaking fly.
Yeah.
So I like Jimmy, but it does feel like moving forward, I would prefer to use him in the lower leverage situations.
I agree.
If possible.
If possible. I kind of like Bowden Francis, honestly, better than Jimmy, which is, I never thought I'd say
kind of blasphemous
that.
To say, but honestly, maybe a little bit of truth to that.
I agree, man. So there was a ton of good Jays this week. Not a ton, but only one can be on top, everybody.
Only one can be crowned the J of the week.
Yes, J of the week. You saw a lot of great OPSs up there, a lot of runs driven in by the boys, but man, we gotta give it to this man. How could you not, man? David Schneider wins it again.
Once again, folks, Davis freaking Schneider. This is his team, guys.
Yes.
This is his team. I'm actually not even joking right now. it's freaking David Schneider's squad.
Absolutely.
You know, like,
Absolutely.
I've never seen somebody come and just take over a team like he has, but he is doing it right now. In fact, everybody, in the first 15 games in his MLB career, he has the best OPS ever. In MLB, there's been a lot of damn good MLB players, folks. He is the best OPS in his first 15 games ever. When you look up, regardless of how his career goes, if you were to look up that statistic for years to come, Davis Schneider's name is going to be up there.
Him and that glorious mustache, and also what's crazy, a little side note, he's not even in the lineup today.
Yeah, that's so horrible.
When you don't have Bell, Bichette, You take out your best player?
I don't know.
I don't understand.
I don't know what to do, man. But either way, man, David Schneider has literally changed his team. If we didn't have this,
we didn't have David Schneider, our team, we wouldn't be in the spot.
Yeah, where are we?
We're not. We're like 4 games out of a wild card spot. Guaranteed, man.
A guarantee, dude. This dude, like we showed you, has a 1.7 WAR in 17 games.
17 games.
He is literally like
insane.
He's massive guy. So David Schneider is absolutely incredible at baseball, and we freaking love him. Let's take a look at this week ahead, guys. We said, Oakland and then Kansas City.
Just a joke.
This needs to be W's, especially considering what the next week is going to entail, guys, because you get 4 games against Texas and then 3 games against the Boston Red Sox, and we cannot sleep on those Boston Red Sox because they have whooped our ass all season long. I want to be picking up 5 W's here. How are we going to do?
Bro. We have to. Honestly, I didn't even look at the Kansas City Royals pitching staff. I was like, bro, I don't care. It's the Royals. But I looked over at the A's. They've got a guy going up against Berrios on today, actually, named Waldachuk.
Okay.
Okay, there you go. They actually don't even. They're looking for a starter tomorrow. They haven't even announced it. They don't even know.
They'll be combing the streets of Oakland, just seeing who they can
who's
find,
available,
who's
right?
available. You know?
So maybe some of the people trying to sell the team on the side of the roads.
Yeah.
Then you got Rio going up against Sears. There you go.
No idea.
We gotta take honestly, bro. Berrios has been kind of bad lately, but Bassett's been good. Rio's been good. I think we got a sweep, bro. I'm predicting a sweep, man.
Let me just double check this so I'm not talking out of my ass. Let me just double check.
You're looking at their last 10?
Yeah, so Kansas City and Oakland are the worst teams in the league.
Yes. Oh, wow.
Oakland has a record of 42 and 95.
Wow.
42 and 95, everybody. That is a winning percentage of 30%.
Yeah.
This should be 3 wins.
Granted, A's are hot right now for A's.
I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. And let me just put this out here. I hate how Sportsnet, it's like, oh yeah, like that's not the old Athletics. Like they're on a bit of a win streak. Okay, fine, man. But are you really gonna like try to gear me up? Like it's almost like you're preparing me for failure already right now. It's like, well, like if the Jays do lose,
it's because of that.
No one be upset because like they've been good in their last 10. Like shut the hell up, guys. They have 42 wins on the season. Well, name me some of their players. Name me some of their players. Like, but seriously, right? It's like, I don't know. Waldachuk? Who the fuck is Waldachuk? That sounds like a beaver mascot. You know what I mean? Like, literally, guys, 3 games, 3 W's. It needs to happen. I don't care if they won 10 in a row. All right?
Fair enough. Well said. All right, well, you got the off day. You're going back to Toronto. Got KC. I didn't get their pitchers at all. Yakaguchi, Gosman, Berrios, what are you thinking? Another sweep?
Well, okay, again, looking at the record, 42 and 96. I'm a realistic man, though, everybody. Yeah. Somebody's gonna make an error of some kind. This is gonna happen. We're gonna take 2 against Kansas City, and we're gonna lose 1.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, too. We're taking 5, guys. We gotta take 5 this week. If we don't take 5... God, I don't.
And let's do some
go ahead.
quick math right now. If we take 5, can you flash up the Texas Rangers schedule really quick?
Yeah.
Like pull up the Texas Rangers, just see how many games they're playing. Because if we take 5 and we lose 1, what would they need to do for us to be either tied with them or in a playoff spot?
So we're
1.5 games
back. It's loading up right now, folks. So flash it over for you guys. Yeah, so they got Houston, and they got the A's, too. God. So actually what needs to happen is, because they're probably going to they'll probably take at least 2 here, right? Yeah. I'm going to say they take 2.
Yeah.
And if they take 1 here, that's 3-3. Yeah, so if they go 3-3 this week,
and we go 5-1,
and we go 5-1, we will be in the playoff spot by half game. So that's when he's happened.
Okay,
that could happen.
5-1 for the Jays, 3-3 for the Rangers. It's doable. It's tough. We need some things to happen.
Yeah.
But it is possible, everybody. That's going to be our prediction for the week. We are back in a playoff spot by half a game for that series against the Rangers.
Huge.
And that will be massive.
That's going to be massive. We're going to be going live for a lot of that, guys. And also, real quick shout out, 121 people in here. Guys, if you haven't already, drop a like on the stream. Hit that subscribe button. It's playoff time. It's September. So, yeah, like we said, that's going to be a massive series. We'll be live for at least 2 of those games.
We need to, yeah. Like, just based on, like, if we're not making playoffs, that's going to be the playoffs.
Literally.
That is going to be the playoffs. Yeah. Everybody, we got to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of this video and the next segment on our show.
Time for a quick shout out to Betway. Betway is the best place to make all of your sports bets on all of your favorite teams. Betway is also in collaboration with iGaming Ontario. Must be 19 years older to participate. And guys, please bet responsibly. Now, back to the content.
Spinning, fortune, baseball, colorful, future determining, stat analyzing, and it's a wheel that we spin every week.
It is, in fact, a wheel that we spin every single week, everybody.
Woo!
I did not spin it very well last week, though. Yeah, you took 3, man.
I got my first all season. I've been like, well, I need a sweep.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit too late, though.
You got it. So, quick math right now. So, there is, let me just take a look. So, we're in September. We have 1... Okay, wait. So 1, 2, 3, 4
weeks. I need to sweep like
so if you
every week.
what is the math? Yeah, so you get
12. I would literally need to sweep every week from here on out.
But and is there some in October?
No, that'll be the wildcard series.
Okay.
So yeah, if I sweep every time, I'll have 35.
Yeah.
Just winning.
Okay.
So it starts now.
Starts now, dude. The comeback starts today. And whose week is it?
It's your week.
My week. Okay, everybody. Let's week.
Go.
I need some things that well, not really, actually.
Who cares?
What am I saying? Let me spin this thing.
You guys predict as well in the chat. Who are you going to pick for these categories? All right, and
we're going with
OPS. All right.
Listen, man, I normally wouldn't do this, but I got to have him. I got to have him on my team, baby.
You gotta
lock it in. Davis freaking Babe Schneider.
Bro.
I don't want you to have that guy. He's mine. I need that guy for OPS.
That just won you the year, bro.
Pretty much.
With that pick, he's a lock, man. All right, right now it's just been a little bit slow, this program. God, I don't even... He's literally clearly the choice.
Yeah.
He's the clear choice.
Now you're gonna have to take a flyer on somebody, man. I mean, like, do you trust Espinal's gonna continue? No. Do you trust? I mean, Kirk was really good last week.
Yeah,
he's turning it on.
Yeah. Oh God, this actually kind of blows. This actually, I'm never gonna pick Vlad. It's all random at this point. Who I think is gonna be well? Maybe.
Don't go crazy, man. Come on, you have to pick Kirk over Biggio.
Oh, I'm never going to pick Biggio.
Yeah, okay. I thought for a second you were thinking about that.
Belt's kind of hurt. He's got to get the ABs. I'm going to go... Screw it, I'll pick Kirk.
Pick Kirk, man. He's turning it on right now.
Pick Kirk.
Isn't it a sad day on the Toronto Blue Jays where you're like, well, I can't pick Springer,
I
can't pick Vladdy, can't pick Pete,
can't pick Belt, can't pick Bichette.
Can't pick Bo. No, dude, David Schneider is the clear selection, which is just wild.
That's crazy, bro.
Let's do it again.
Oh, come on, Kirk, I need you. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be?
I still have yet to spin a bonus player for myself.
And it's ERA starters.
ERA starters. So listen, this isn't as much of a lock as it used to be, guys.
And you know, you usually would pick. I picked Ryu and I won that category last week.
Yeah, you did, man. I mean, this is not as much of a lock because Kevin Gausman, as we know, has been struggling recently, folks. And I'm going to go insane crazy mode right now.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to let you go first.
All right, I'm gonna pick my boy. I'm gonna pick my boy Ryu. He's been solid.
That's fair.
Gave up a few runs this week, but still solid.
Yeah. Connor's saying Ryu lock. Tom Dinner saying Ryu. And don't get me wrong, guys. I do love me some Hunjin Ryu.
But you had a great performance from Bassett this week.
Bassett was phenomenal. He's gonna go up against the Oakland Athletics. I mean, granted, Kevin Gausman, he's gonna be at home against the Royals, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what are you guys thinking? Gausman against the Royals at home. Bassett against the Athletics on the road. What are we thinking?
Bassett making the return to the Coliseum. Big Pitchers Ballpark.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, actually. That is true.
I would probably lean Bassett. I don't like Burry. He's been kind of scuffling, too.
I don't want Burrios because he goes twice in the week anyway.
Twice,
so.
yeah. Kikuchi's not bad as well, but
Lucas saying obvious choice is Bassett. Is it obvious? All right, we're getting a few Bassets. Lock it in. Lock it in for Bassett. I will take Chris Bassett, man. He did just have an incredible outing.
Yes,
so
Yes,
I'm about it, folks. I will be picking the final category here first.
What's it gonna be, everyone? What's it gonna be?
You're the bonus player for crying out loud. Still have yet to spun
No,
one. Doesn't
not
look
gonna
like it's
happen.
Be.
Oh, you got another. You got another chance.
Respin, everybody.
Let's go. Come on. Let's see if it's gonna happen. It is coming around, but it's gonna pass it. It's gonna be runs. And you are picking, right?
Yeah, who did well last week?
Let's see.
This is such an up in the air category. I have no idea about runs, literally ever, folks.
You got George Springer up there. Schneider. Where the hell is Schneider, actually?
So runs last week.
Schneider.
Wow.
At 7.
Wow.
Kirk 4, Witt 4.
Wow.
Or 3. Honestly, I think it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, just lock it in, dude. I'm riding David Schneider right now, everybody.
Of course.
I am riding David Schneider all the way home. I mean, if he's gonna lead the team in OPS, he'll probably get a crap little run. So
yeah. And you know what? Oh God, top of lineup. George Springer's not bad. I guess I'll go. I guess I'll go George Springer. Oh, it's a sad day in Blue Jay land.
Wow.
All right, George Springer.
Okay, so effectively, all I need to have happen here, guys, is I just need to win If I just win 1 week from here on out.
You need one category, and you won.
Good.
You won.
Good. Yeah.
So that's it.
Wow. All right, everybody. So there is our selections for this upcoming week, folks. You guys comment down below your thoughts about everything that we talked about here today, guys. Prime opportunity for these Toronto Blue Jays to get back into a playoff spot. I want to be there on Thursday, looking at that table and thinking to myself, October baseball is on the way.
Absolutely, guys. Make sure to hit that like button, smash the subscribe button, and as always, guys,
Go Jays, go!
Got this.